when it comes to being racist, I think Joe Biden is at the top.
Listen, that's when the news gets shared. And you know, like, this is kind of breaking the code.
I know her target audience, so I know what she was going to do. So I knew that she was going to play the same playbook that Stacey Abrams did.
Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris for president.
She knows that saying what she's saying, there's going to be a group of men that feels like, okay, I better get in line. They look at us like how they look at us, with music.
Cool black guy with a thing on his head. What the hell is that? A lampshade? Look at this guy.
The watermelon joke. Bad political move. I wouldn't have had him there.
Like, first of all, comedians need to go back to being comedians. I don't mind the offensive comedian.
All right, y'all. I am joined with the LeBron from Broken Traditions Podcast, the one and only. If y'all haven't checked out his podcast, he aims to try to break away from toxic black culture and explores thought-provoking conversations. Obviously, we had to get him on the show because we're all about thought-provoking conversations over here as well. LeBron, what's up, man? How you doing tonight?
I'm great, man. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm excited to see what you got to say about this subject because I know you're going to bring the heat tonight. But before we started doing the show, you mentioned that it's not only this campaign, but the previous campaigns. There's been conversation targeted towards us, right? About our voting, our habits, what we're doing, what we're not doing, on both sides, right? So we got, I guess to start off with the Democrats, since most of us are voting Democrat. I think the last time I checked the numbers is about 80% of us are voting Democrat usually in elections. I guess before this election, do you rank anything that Kamala Harris has said as more disrespectful than what Joe Biden said in the last election?
It's a long way until November. We got more questions.
You got more questions, but I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black.
Where if you don't vote for me,
no. I don't think no politician ever in my lifetime said anything as disrespectful as Joe Biden. I mean, for Joe Biden disrespect, it has to go back to somebody voting for a mayor in Mississippi in 1940. It has to go that far back. For me, once he said that thing to Charlemagne, if you don't know not to vote for me, you're not black. That tops it. That's the magnum opus of disrespectful things said to black people. You can't get no higher than that. That's crazy.
Now,
and we still vote for him at a 90% clip.
Now, do you think this was a spur of the moment comment, or was this something that he was talking to someone else about, and then it just happened to just was this one of those grifts, the old Joe Biden grift, or was this an actual thought of his?
I think it was a thought of his. I think when it comes to being racist, I think Joe Biden is at the top. That's why I never liked Joe Biden.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't vote for Trump, but I always thought that Joe Biden was more racist. And I just thought that I would not vote for Joe Biden. You know what I'm saying? So that clip or him saying that is just par for the course for him. People always say, oh, Donald Trump's father was in the Klan, which I don't know if that's to be true or not. But we do know Joe Biden's mentor, Bird. I can't think of his first name, but Bird. He was in the Klan. He was a Grand Wizard in the Klan. So his mentor was a Grand Wizard, and Joe Biden spoke at his eulogy. That's not nothing just happenstance.
Yeah.
So that's in Joe Biden's nature, I believe, in my opinion.
And, I don't forget the debate that happened during the primaries between him and Kamala Harris. When Harris was attacking him for voting against the busing law. Remember she was talking about how, she was that little girl who was, one of the first wave to desegregate her school. And he was the one kind of, was trying to stop people from getting to school. And I remember which is why I found it so bizarre that she ends up becoming the vice president. Because I'm just like, weren't you just up this dude's ass during the whole debate? And all of a
I don't find it bizarre that she was the vice president, but I do think, the reason why I don't find it bizarre because they put the pressure on saying that we need a woman of color to be a vice president. And
True.
He just folded. True. Yeah, so he just folded.
Okay, so do you think? Okay, so because you said you actually called him racist.
I think he's racist. Yeah.
So it's funny how his legacy is for the first black woman to be vice president and also appointing a black woman on the Supreme Court.
Mm-hmm.
That probably, man, the cognitive dissonance that must be going on in his mind.
He's not even in his mod right now. So,
He said if it was existent.
if it was Joe Biden 10 years ago, he'll be pissed. Like, he'll be pissed. But Joe Biden 2020 is not pissed because, he's a shell of, it's weekend at Bernie's. You know what I'm saying?
He said weekend at Bernie's.
Roll the court out
That's messed
there.
up.
And that's all that is. So he don't mind. He don't mind it.
All right, so that kind of sets the stage. So when you first saw the plan for black men that Kamala Harris rolled out, it took her a while to actually put out any plan because for a long time it was just buy my merch, give me money. Shout out to Kofa on that one.
I'm not gonna sell Kofa Shah, but I've been telling him that I stopped doing politics stuff, and I was like, and we text each other like, "Yo, she still ain't got nothing on her site yet."
It took forever. Buy my merch, give me money. That's what it was. So when she finally rolled it out, and we saw what was on this thing, was the weed part an issue for you? Because that was something I heard on the Black Twitter space that weed thing was kind of touchy for some folks.
I don't know. I'm really detached from the election to have that be offended to me. You know what I'm saying? Like I know her target audience, so I know what she was going to do. So I knew that she was going to play the same playbook that Stacey Abrams did. So Stacey Abrams came out with a player for black men, but it was a player for everybody. You know what I'm saying? I knew she was going to do that.
You weren't surprised when we found out that it was literally just a plan for everybody.
Yes.
And so, that a lot of conversation was being had, and I was wondering how all that was going on. I was like, man, the Stacey Abrams thing just happened prior to that, and so this had to be like, deja vu for a lot of folks over there.
Yeah, it was. And I was expecting that, I mean, she told you already, I can't do something specifically for black people.
She did.
I can't do it. So why you think she's going to do it now? If you go back to the memorandum of benign neglect. So after the civil rights movement, they put a memorandum in saying that we can't do nothing for the black community for a while. They didn't say it like that verbatim, but they said that in so many words. And ever since then, every president has been doing benign neglect since the civil rights movement.
Man, that puts Barack Obama in a lot of context.
Yeah.
That was one of his complaints, and I heard from a lot of folks is, he didn't do anything for black people. It's like, well, if he's kind of tied on that end, how would he?
I mean, what could he do for black people? I mean, honestly, what could Barack Obama do for black people that's not going to hurt him?
To be fair, too, I don't know what we specifically asked for during that time.
That's another thing.
Did we ask?
We would be with Barack Obama being the president.
Yeah.
So long as grandma got her picture of Barack Obama next to Jesus Christ over the fireplace,
you got what you wanted.
Okay, we good with it.
You got what you wanted. You wanted me, I'm here.
Yeah, that's it. We just wanted the symbolism.
So speaking on Obama, he has been very vocal in this election.
Yes.
And he got some spicy comments when he made that comment to that group of, it looked like a bunch of college kids. When I was
it was at a college in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you get a peek of what he said?
I did. I did a video on it. I played the whole thing in its entirety on my video, and I love the reaction. I love the reaction to it. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't upset about it. I wasn't offended. I felt like, he wasn't speaking to me directly. So I didn't care, but I get why people were upset. And, I think the politicians, Democrat and Republican and Independent and Green Party, whatever, they all out of touch when it comes to black culture. So, and when it comes to like real in-depth black culture, they all out of touch. So I think Barack Obama is just another one out of touch. And he got his moment. He got his moment that we not rocking with you like that no more. You're no longer our savior. You're no longer our God. So you just now a regular man who ain't do nothing for us. So people were ready to give Obama the smoke. And I was here for that part because we're no longer worshiping people. There's no more idol worshiping.
That's a good point, man. And you know, I thought about this too when the Summit for Black Men happened not too long ago, like a couple of days ago, in Atlanta, actually, as I think about it. And Michael Ealy was there.
I didn't know about that.
Yeah, Michael Ealy basically almost parroted the same thing that Barack Obama said.
It's naive to think that there aren't some men out there who simply don't want to vote for women.
It's disingenuous to say that. It's disingenuous. It's not
exactly.
naive.
I don't believe it is a lot at all.
You don't?
I don't. Not in our community. So there is a sense here that what the president, who, let's be honest, he put his life on the line.
Yes.
He put his family's life on the line, and inherited a recession, and got us out of that, and single-handedly handed Donald Trump an amazing economy. We're now looking at him and saying, how are you going to talk to us like that? When in reality, that's not what he was saying. If, in fact, you are one of those individuals who believe that a woman should not be president, speak on it. Don't mask it by saying that you believe in some sort of policy discrepancy, especially when that policy discrepancy has been debunked.
Right.
Although he said, I don't think the numbers of people black men who are not open to voting for a woman, I don't think those numbers are big, but it was essentially the same vein. And what I'm wondering, you brought up a really good point. You said something about a lot of folks are out of touch. What's surprising about that is the amount of black people who work now in politics. You would think that they would have more plug into the pulse of what's happening.
See, I think, all right, this is what I think. I listen to somebody who live in your state, Roland Martin, from time to time. And he is very insightful. Roland Martin is pretty insightful when it comes to politics in ways that if you're looking at it independently, it makes a lot of sense. And one thing that Roland Martin has been critical about the Democratic Party is, you know, you want black votes, but you not listen to black voices when it comes to speaking to black people. So if you're not having the right black people at these meetings, letting you know what's going on, what you're doing is not working. So what y'all was doing when Al Gore was running is not working now when Kamala Harris is running, but you still running the same playbook. So Roland Martin spoke about that. And also when it comes to black men don't want to vote for a black woman, Roland Martin also spoke about that too, saying how since Obama's second term, black men have slowly but surely been leaving the Democratic Party.
Yeah.
So it is a increase of black men now voting Republican election after election after election. It just so happens they put Kamala Harris in front of us and say that black men don't want to vote this way. No, this is something that is going on. So
and
it is what it is.
I'll add to that too. I think when I was more heavily involved, like actually working on campaigns, I did notice that a lot of black men were dropping out on the local level. A lot of black men were dropping out mainly because their voices weren't being heard. Like the positions weren't getting filled by us, right? When you work on someone's campaign, you assume that you're going to get hired on to their team, right? To be a communications person or a, chief of staff or something along those lines. You depending on what you're contributing to that campaign. And it was, it's for a minute now, it's been more women focused. We need to produce more women in power, which is not an issue. But for those who had aspirations, they start looking for other places for opportunity. And unfortunately, this is where you get people like Wesley Hunt, where you get Byron Donald. You have people who I'm looking for opportunity, right? And also too, just more experience, more exposure to information. People start getting different ideas, and then they're like, you know what? Some of these conservative views might actually be as bad as people say they were, and so I might want to try this out and see if this is my lane. And then all of a sudden, you have an opportunity to become an elected official. You're like, all right, cool, this will work.
Yeah.
I think all that's how they're interconnected. So you weren't really. I agree with you on that one. I wasn't truly bothered by Barack Obama's comments. I've said that in the video that we made. You know, that I think the point that you made was interesting. He wasn't talking to me, right? Which maybe this is telling of our own personal issue of us being really sensitive about things, right? You didn't take it personal,
No,
you know, but maybe other
because
people.
I have like I know who I am.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter if it's not God Himself coming down saying this to me. I'm not offended by it. Like whatever, it is what it is. What am I do, right? I can't please everybody. I can't be everybody's best friend. I'm not everybody's cup of tea. It is what it is. So Barack Obama saying this is not to me.
Yeah.
You know, the things he's saying, like, oh, you're not voting for because she's a black woman or whatever. We gotta get behind his sister and all the stuff he said to me, it wasn't to me. So like, I'm good. I don't care.
So on that note, then I have an idea of what you're going to say.
Okay,
but I'll go ahead and play this anyway to get your thoughts.
Colin Allred's chances in the Senate against Ted Cruz. Michelle Obama, kind of following in her husband's footsteps, had some very specific messaging towards men. Let's take a listen to a little bit of that.
But to anyone out there thinking about sitting out this election or voting for Donald Trump or a third-party candidate in protest because you're fed up, let me warn you, your rage does not exist in a vacuum. If we don't get this election right, your wife, your daughter, your mother, we as women will become collateral damage to your rage. Are you as men prepared to look into the eyes of the women and children you love and tell them that you supported this assault on our safety? And to the women listening, we have every right to demand that the men in our lives do better by us. We have to.
So I saw a chuckle.
Yeah, all right. What do you think I'm going to say? I want to hear that first.
Well, based off this conversation, I'm going to say she wasn't talking to me.
Okay. You're right about that. She's not speaking to me, but I think her strategy is very disrespectful.
All right.
And yes, I think it's very disrespectful. More disrespectful than Obama's, right?
All right.
Because,
we're getting somewhere. Okay.
All right. So what she's trying to do is she's trying to put the fear into people to vote a certain direction, right?
Oh, yeah.
Saying that if you don't vote this way, you're basically going to die, right? Like she's putting like a life or death situation on why you need to vote this way, even though
you're going to be responsible for killing your sister, your mom.
Yes, that's very fear-mongering. That's crazy. And on the second point, I don't think you was expecting this, and I'm trying to keep it as PG as possible.
Okay.
Unless I could be NC-17, I'll make sure my comment is rated E for everybody. She knows that saying what she's saying, there's going to be a group of men that feels like, okay, I better get in line, and if I don't, I will not get no more of that black cookie.
Oh,
I try to be as PG as possible.
Man,
I think we know that, and I think there's a group of men that's like, damn, I know what this one politician is saying. I know I don't like her, but I know I want that. And if I want access to that, I need to go get in line.
Man, that hurts my heart, man.
Because there's certain people out there that they could put in front and say like, damn, Michelle Obama, damn, Beyonce, damn, Kelly Rowland. You as a black man going to step away from that? You are put yourselves out there that you're not going to get certain monsters no more because you have to go put your snow boots on with certain black women. They would not talk. I mean, I've met black women like I can't see myself dating a man who's not voting for Kamala Harris.
Yeah, no, that's right.
Not voting for Trump. You can vote for Jill Stein, Cornel West, or Donald Trump. I'm not seeing myself being with a man who's not voting for Kamala. And they was not saying that with Joe Biden, but with Kamala, it's all bets off.
No,
Yeah.
yes,
So
it's different. Yeah, you're right, man. It is different.
yeah.
I don't. Man, I said this in the last video. I don't like people thinking they have some assumed authority over what. First of all, and again, I might be too old school traditional on this note, but you can't tell me what I can and can't do. I'm a grown man. And also to your point, you start adding my family into this.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait a minute. That's first of all, and this is very unpopular to say, and I'm probably going to get canceled for saying this. But
Oh, don't care for me, y'all.
these views are not Broken Traditions views. No, but seriously, I think this needs to be said. We have seen a cultural and societal decay in recent years, and I think a lot of these issues would not be issues if we didn't fall so far from where we were. And it's very unpopular because we're living in the time where women are free and they're able to do whatever and say whatever and wear whatever. But the more time I see it passes, right? Angel Reese just recently was with, not with him, but did an interview with Shaq. And Shaq just pointed out something that she wore in public. She decided to wear that. Obviously, what you're wearing, it assumed that you wanted people to look at certain things.
Bro, imagine you.
I'm not imagining.
Let me finish. Imagine you in the same little shirt you had on at the Wild 'N Out show, Duncan. You know how many T-shirts you gonna sell, cuz? You tripping.
Oh my
what?
God.
What?
Oh God.
The same little shirt you had on.
Okay. All right.
Duncan,
all right.
Bro.
He makes a comment on said thing, and now you're upset that he makes a comment on it. When again, if you didn't want that level of attention, why did you come out your house looking like that? And most people say, oh, you're blaming her. And I'm just like, well, isn't she an adult? She paid for that, didn't she? She knew what she was getting into.
Yeah.
You like the attention, though.
Not only that, to go back on Angel Reese, I didn't know this, and this might be new news to you. Angel Reese, I think, put on her Snapchat or maybe Instagram stories or whatever, doing a paid promo ad of her getting her vagina waxed.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going a completely different direction. I thought you're the Instagram that she said she couldn't pay all her bills.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Like,
that's
showing
different. That's
your
a whole
vagina
different.
wax, and like,
I didn't see that coming.
There was little snippets of you could see.
Oh no. Nah. This is Instagram. You say Instagram?
It was one of those sites, but I was like, this can't be true. I had to Google it.
Nah.
I had to Google it, and when somebody said that on their show, I said, ain't no way that's true. So what Shaq said is,
but I might have to.
A raindrop in the ocean compared to that video
that she posted. Unless she's telling me that her account was hacked.
From what I understand, it was a paid ad. Like, oh, this is some place I go to, and they pay me. They paid her for the ad.
Oh no. Okay, I'm actually kind of not wanting to see this.
Who created the Brazilian?
Okay, this is looking. Who wants to see that?
Let me see.
Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah, we're good. We're good on that.
Yeah, but go back to what you were saying. It's on the culture, right? The culture, unfortunately, goes the direction where the men take the culture. And we let go of the responsibility 50, 60 years ago of the culture. And we let women fend for themselves in a high clip where they feel like, one, they have to boss up and do their own thing. And two, now they can do their own thing. They're on the same level as men. And I think that's the problem. And I can't put that on women. You know what I'm saying? It have to start from the root. In the root, we have a bad foundation. We let the culture go. So you look at other cultures, men, the direction that the men going, that's the direction the culture goes. And I think we let go of it.
Man.
And it's time for us to get it back, but how? You know what I'm saying? How?
That's a good point.
It might be another 50 years before we can even, say touch the rim. As say kids playing basketball, they want to dunk. Before you dunk, you got to touch the rim. So right now, we could touch the net. We might have a little bit of a voice, but we ain't touching the rim yet. So I really think that's the problem.
Is this an issue of us exercising voice, or is this an issue of us being incapable of assuming that position again? If we, in fact, just allow things to go into chaos, right?
Yeah.
And I know you mentioned, like, well, how do we course correct? Is this a problem of us needing to regain the skills, or is this more of we're just too shy?
I think it's regaining the skills. I think it's understanding manhood, understanding leadership. You hear, we got definitely going off on a whole tangent, and we just definitely went a different direction with this conversation. But I think a man grows up to be 18 and he thinks he's a man without doing the work to become a man. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't understand what it is to be a man, what is to lead. You don't understand those things. So you 18, you think you're ready to lead. You're not ready to lead because you're a man. You got, pubic hair. It's not the case.
Yeah.
You have to go through the steps, in my opinion. But a lot of men don't go through that. And I think that's the issue. So we have grown men in 40-year-old bodies still with a 15-year-old mindset. So I think that's part of the issue. So we have to understand how to become a man first.
Okay. I'm gonna bring it back home with this. So this kind of adds into why maybe people talk to us in a certain way. If it is in fact true that a lot of us might not be as mature as we need to be, or our ages, then this explains why, well, at least from the Democratic Party standpoint, why they can make an ad with the pop balloon thing, saying, hey, if you want to have some time with me, you better vote. And usually I'm assuming you're voting for Harris on that one. If not, I'm going to pop this balloon and I'm going to keep walking. Or I'm going to walk away from this date because you don't vote.
Hello, ladies. I'm Trey. It's good to be here.
Hey, Trey.
Hey.
So, what do you do and how much do you make?
I work in finance, making six figures.
How tall are you?
6'5".
Okay. Do you work out?
I like to stay active, yeah.
Do you have a plan to vote?
I didn't plan on it.
The assumption that you don't vote. Not the assumption of, you vote for the wrong person, but you don't vote at all.
It goes back to, again, like I said, us owning the culture, right? So not only we detach ourselves from owning the culture, also we allow people from the outside to portray what image it is to be black. So they look at us like how they look at us, with music. Any form of entertainment, like, oh, look how this black man is. This is how he is. So that's how, unfortunately, the majority of the world sees us, as hip-hop culture, as TV culture, as reality TV culture.
Entertainment.
So entertainment, yes.
Entertainment for everybody.
That we don't control. That, we could be the greatest entertainer, but we don't control what it is that we put out. And since we don't control that, that's how the world sees us. And so that's why, you got the pop the balloon ads from Kamala Harris. That's why we got, I know we talked about Republican and Democrats, but RFK did a track with Little Boosie talking about standing on business.
So that's not real.
Look it up.
What does he know about standing on business?
No, excuse me. A track with Little Boosie and Robert Kennedy Jr. called Standing on Business. Not business. BIDNESS.
Look at you over playing games now.
So that's how they see us.
Man, I should have added that to the list of disrespect.
But I know you said Republican and Democrat, so that's why I was like,
he was an ex-Democrat who's now, I guess, he's not a Republican now, but he's on that camp for at least this election.
Yeah. So
that's crazy.
I mean, if you want to go even further, if you want to look up something, there's a track with that I actually use this quote on a video. There's a track with Kodak Black, Fabio Foreign, and Donald Trump.
Oh, yeah, but Trump's been in tracks. Up Like Trump. I remember hearing him, especially in the early 2000s.
No. I'm talking about this. This track is recent, and they're talking about Trump, and Trump is on the track.
Oh man, now
It's
that's
called
crazy.
On
Him
Board.
being on the track is crazy. I don't know about
Yeah.
that.
No, not like I'm not talking about like old school Cocoa Brothers with Raekwon when they made a song called Black Trump. I'm like, no, Trump is on this track.
Oh, okay, all right. Yeah, that's different. That's different. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's not okay. Well, since we're on the subject, they have done some interesting things. So for those people who feel that they are disenfranchised, I'm done with the Democratic Party. I'm not trying to deal with them no more.
Yes.
The Republicans is like, hey, what do you have to lose?
African American communities have suffered under Democratic control. To those I say the following. What do you have to lose by trying something new like Trump? What do you have to lose?
Join our squad. And so in more recent time, right, Trump comes out with his golden sneaker. Now, when you first saw this sneaker, what were your thoughts?
I thought it was Trump. Like, being from New York, seeing stuff that Trump put up, is always his name all over it, whether it's a plane, whether it's a casino, whether it's a hotel, whatever. Trump stuff is always big, loud, and bold, big Trump. You know what I'm saying? It looked like what Trump would look like being from Queens, New York, right? Seeing the sneaker, I knew who was targeted, but I didn't want to say it was targeted until they said it. And I think there was a clip on Fox News, and he was like, "Oh my God, this is the best thing ever! Oh, black people love sneakers. They're gonna come buy these sneakers in droves." Oh, I was like, "Oh, here we go." I knew it. I was waiting for it.
That's what I'm talking about. That's that bullshit. That's what I'm talking. That's what I'm talking about right there.
But yeah, I know who it's for. And like I said, I have not seen any black people with Trump sneakers. I have seen white people with Trump sneakers. I have seen that. That is something I've seen with my own eyes.
Yeah.
And I don't have 20/20 vision, but whatever my vision is, I see that in my own. I'm like, wow, man, he was cool, but he had Trump sneakers on it.
Oh yeah,
That's the level of
now on the
commitment.
hierarchy of. Oh, go ahead.
That's the level of commitment that I can't even.
Oh yeah.
Wrap my head around.
Yeah. Now on the hierarchy of craziness, black jobs.
A lot of the journalists in this room are black. I will tell you that coming from the border are millions and millions of people that happen to be taking black jobs. You had the best.
What exactly is a black job, sir?
A black job is anybody that has a job. That's what it is. Anybody that has a job.
All right.
And
Mr. President,
they're taking the employment away from black people. They're coming in, they're invading. It's an invasion of millions of people, probably 15, 16, 17 million people.
That was bad.
I'm trying to figure out what is black jobs. Is it like an exclusive list of? Are they open? What is a black job? I've never seen one.
I think I'm gonna be real with you. I had a black job.
Like a DEI type situation.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Let me tell you how. So, when I was used to work on cars, right? There was this white dude that worked at the shop, but he worked in the shop with a black neighborhood. They did not like him. Like, they did not like this white dude. He was real short with them. He was real snarky. He was real nasty. And it was like, oh, we need a black dude in here. So they transferred him out of that shop and put me in the shop, and I took over that shop. It was a black job.
Okay, so if Trump's talking about making more of those, or no, actually no, in the context he was saying that immigrants were taking those jobs.
Oh yeah. But the context that Trump was talking about is not what I'm talking about. Let's be clear. What Trump was saying is wild crazy, because I don't know. I never seen a black job. You know what I'm saying? The closest thing I would say to a black job, and next time you come to Atlanta, if you fly here, you're gonna notice this. Only black people work at the airport in Atlanta. It's the craziest thing ever. So
I have noticed that, and I'm like, okay, I understand that there's a lot of black people in Atlanta. I get that.
Yeah.
Right, but I've seen a bunch of different people in Atlanta.
Yes.
But I don't see that reflected at the airport. And
no.
It's a huge airport. Y'all have one of the biggest airports
in the country.
And so it's like, to not see anywhere. That's crazy.
So maybe that's a black job. Maybe Hartsville, Jackson, Atlanta is a black job. But I can't think of no other black job.
Oh,
I'd never
man.
seen that like this before in my life, though. You like, it's something I challenge people to look for when they come into the city. Like, count how many white people you see working here. I mean, the only time you might see like the pilot walking through, but he don't work there. You know what I'm saying? But that's
he
it.
works for the airline. He doesn't. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it is. Now since I think about it, I have not seen one. That's crazy. I'm like, yes. Wait a minute. This is a big.
Another black job in Atlanta is Amazon workers. Like I've never seen a white person deliver Amazon packages
See,
in
but
Atlanta.
that's all over the country, man.
No, I've seen white Amazon workers in some places, but when I leave Jordan, I don't see it.
Okay. Well, I guess when I think of like black predominant, actually, I'm thinking of the wrong thing. I'm thinking of USPS.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he should have just said that. So hey, look, we got USPS. We're always trying to hire, even though if there's a government shutdown, you're not going to get a check. But, we're not going to say that up front. You'll find out later the hard way. But, black job, a job where you can work for free because we didn't pass a bill. That's it.
I really think Trump just be talking out his ass. Like he don't think about what he's about to say, and nobody course correct him, nobody check him, nobody just
nope.
Yeah, it's the same thing over and over again. It's funny. It's very entertaining. Like I wouldn't mind for another 4 years just for the entertainment value of it. Like I'm glad he's back on social media. You know what I'm saying? I know he's gonna be doing these wild, crazy, stupid podcasts and jumping on streams with probably Costa not. Like it's gonna be a funny event when Trump becomes president.
You say with Kais and that. All right, so that brings us to the most recent, which you already kind of told me that this wasn't a big deal for you, but for those who aren't privy to that conversation, the watermelon joke.
All right, heck yeah, it's a cool black guy with a thing on his head. What the hell is that? A lampshade? Look at this guy. Oh my goodness. Wow. I'm just kidding. That's one of my buddies. He had a Halloween party last night. We had fun. We carved watermelons together. It was awesome.
Mr. Kill Tony, Madison Square Garden. All right, so as a Southern, well, actually, you're not Southern because you're from New York.
No, I'm Southern. I've been here for 6 years. I claim Atlanta now.
Okay, so as a Southern black person, are you offended by a watermelon joke?
No.
All right, why?
All right, it's two reasons, right? I can give you the logic and reason, and I can give you the broken traditions, real rap Ron reason, right? So first, the logical reason. The science behind why, black people in watermelon was a thing was because we started to use the seeds of watermelon to make a profit, right? There was not that many ways for black people to make money back then. So white people were buying watermelon from black people, and just because the other white men was getting jealous, they try to make a stereotype about watermelon. So that was the reason why. Once you know the history behind it, you're like, oh, okay, that's why they made that stereotype. That's why that stereotype holds on because of that, because the money that the black man was making to feed his family. And they allow that stereotype to convince the regular white man who had no problem with the black man not to support the black man. Then the black man felt inferior because of what this white man said to him. So I think that's just something we should break away from. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's stop caring so much what white people think about us. I think that's my opinion, right? The real rap Ron, broken traditions, reason why I'm not offended, I'm vegan, all right? I love watermelon.
I mean, who doesn't? I love watermelon. I'm not, sit here in front, be like,
I love watermelon. I'm not mad about a watermelon joke. You know what I'm saying? Like, first of all, comedians need to go back to being comedians. I don't mind the offensive comedian. You know what I'm saying? The jokes that he said, I thought were funny. Like, a watermelon carving, like, that's just stupid. Like, it's first of all, I'm not carving out a watermelon. I'm utilizing the whole watermelon, right? I love watermelon.
Yeah,
and like I told you earlier, I eat enough watermelon to suffice for the chicken I don't eat. So I just like watermelons. I don't care about that joke. It didn't offend me. What else? The other joke about the Latinos coming to the country and they don't pull out.
Oh yeah,
You
or the
know,
one he said with the hands up, doing this, don't go.
yeah,
But open arms. That's what he said. Open arms.
yeah. Come on, man. He ain't say nothing too crazy. It
No,
wasn't crazy at all.
no. He the stuff that he said to Tom Brady was far worse. I don't know if you caught.
I didn't see that, no.
So I first got word of this guy from the Tom Brady roast.
Mm-hmm.
And so, because he had a bunch of different, Kevin Hart was hosting it, and he had a bunch of ex Patriots there, and Bill Belichick was there, and all that stuff. And so it was about 3 hours long. Out of all the 3 hours, he went in. He went in on time. His stuff probably stung a little bit. I don't remember exactly the jokes, but I do remember Tom was not having a great time during that set. I can tell you that. So yeah, I mean, this is what he's known for. He's known for really brash, harsh jokes, roasting. Actually, really just roasting. So yeah, I saw the media. They took this stuff really, really, I guess, personal. Right? I think for one, as a person who used to work in politics, what I would say is this bad political move. I wouldn't have had him there. He's not an issue if you're doing a closed rally with no cameras and things like that, right? And then the people who are there get to enjoy the jokes and all that other stuff, like a regular comedy show, how you typically have to put away your phones. If you got something like that going on, I don't think you run into any issues, but this is televised. People are going to be looking at this as Madison Square Garden. This is a big venue. Your opponent is going to use this and run with this.
Yeah.
And you're still actively in a race. Just for the more strategy part of me is this was a terrible idea. But for the jokey part, I was I'm with you on that. I do think comedians, I grew up listening to Dave Chappelle. So, that's the type of, and Patrice O'Neill.
Oh.
Yeah, so that, that kind of comedian, Bill Burr, those types of folks, I'm used to that. It's kind of more like the northerner kind of just, because y'all are just not really, the southern hospitality thing is not really a thing in the
Oh, no. We don't care. We don't care. Yeah. Man, you said Patrice O'Neill. Wow. I went to one of his shows, man.
Oh, that had to be good.
It was.
Rest in peace.
It was. Yeah.
But man, yeah, especially in his prime.
But that's what I miss. I miss that. I'm not good with these political PG jokes that you have to tiptoe around, and I don't even watch comedy no more. I used to love comedy. I don't watch it no more.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, that might be a whole different episode. But you're right though, man. It's a different space. Honestly, this could be tied to what we're talking about because of the cultural shift and the changes, right? I don't know what was the catalyst for the PG-ness. Maybe it's just a group of people being more vocal. Maybe that's it. Because like I said, it wasn't too long ago. I mean, where you could go to a comedy show, you could even go see a special, and it was people were going in on folks. But man, now I don't know what the catalyst of that is. I don't know what was the reasoning for why things have adjusted to what we see today.
Everybody's so sensitive. That's all. Carl Thomas of the world is emotional. Just singing in the rain with no shirt on. R&B singer sensitive.
I guess what would be some takeaways for an individual who did get their feelings hurt from one of these two parties? I mean, I guess the don't be sensitive would be the summary of it, but
I'm sorry, I don't have a takeaway for that person. That's not my target audience. I don't know what to tell that person.
Honestly, and quite frankly, my audience, I don't know if they, they probably don't have that problem either. And I said it in the last video. I said, step with confidence. Do what you want to do. You're a grown man. If you want to go this way, go that way. If you want to go the other way, go that way. Who cares what other people think? But that is more of a, at least in my mind, more of a man thing. It's just, we're not really, we shouldn't be, this isn't high school. We shouldn't be worried about what somebody is thinking of us. And we should be focused on, all right, am I good with what I'm doing? Like if I'm not good, then there's a problem. But if I'm good, I feel good about that, then all right, cool. I'll roll with that. So I get you on. So basically, listen, if I had to come up with some takeaways for people to walk, I like people to walk away with something. If you didn't have anything already, definitely get out of your feelings. It's not that big of a deal. And honestly, was anything that was said, and I'll even ask you this, Laron, was there anything that was said throughout this whole process that actually influenced your vote?
I was thinking about voting for Kamala when she said that she washed collard greens in the tub. But besides that, nothing else.
She said that? Wow.
Yeah, no, I'm joking. I'm not. I don't think I'm a vote for. But yeah, no. I mean, only thing that really, honestly, that pushed me to not vote for somebody was Joe Biden. That was it. You know what I'm saying? Once he dropped out the race, I had no dog in the fight.
That's fair.
Like, yeah, that was it for me.
There wasn't really anything. Well, that's not true. There was one thing, not any like joke or comment per se, that influenced my direction one way or another. I think it's the interviews that really did it for me. Watching those really ridiculously long, but I think it's important. But it's just sitting through multiple interviews after a while, you're like, ugh, I don't want to vomit. But watching Trump do a series of long form interviews, watching Harris do a series of long form interviews, I was leaning towards Robert F. Kennedy Jr. when he was viable, and then once he made this alliance with Trump, I was like, okay. So then the comments of people saying that you're a puppet. Although I did listen to his exit speech and his reasonings as to why he's doing it, and he thought that his chances for winning were minimal. He had no actual way to victory, and he didn't want Harris to be the president. So that was the main reason why he chose to drop out.
Okay.
In that aspect, I'm not a quitter. I don't. I'll let the race give me the L. I'm not going to give myself an L. I think he should have just stayed with it. You already spent all this time. You already, were getting sued. Just finish the race out.
Yeah.
My own personal opinion, but I'm not Robert F. Kennedy, so he did what he wanted to do. Tulsi Gabbard became a Republican. It was somebody I was watching, and then she kind of, I don't know what her reasonings for that was, but that was interesting to watch. So yeah, but it wasn't anything anybody. The sneaker thing, I didn't really care too much about. Most of the shoes I wear are dress shoes now anyway, so I used to be a sneakerhead.
Yeah.
I guess I just got either corporate or old or the combination of the two. I don't know, but now I gotta wear Monk Links. That's my Jordan now.
I don't know. That's why I don't have a dog in the fight. I'm not really engaged with this political stuff right now because I don't think, honestly, my life is going to be that much different with either candidate. So I really feel that way.
Yeah.
And I just feel like it's going to be what it is.
No, it's a good point, man. Because honestly, if you're looking at it logically, shout out to Logic and Reason. If you're looking at it logically, really the concern here is Congress.
Yes.
Right, they're the ones that will either establish a bill or pass it. Either if you're talking about the House of Reps or senators, the Senate. So the president, I understand why there's emphasis on the president because, especially in the past, and at least the birth of this country, the president is the figurehead, right? The president is our Queen of England. It's the spokesman of the country. It's supposed to be the moral standard, what people look to, the representative whenever there's another country that comes here. And so there's an emphasis
Yeah.
of, who's going to represent us on the national stage or the international stage. So I understand that. But as far as like actual power, like to your specific life, they can't pass nothing by themselves. They
Yeah.
can veto, but even that veto can get overridden with a 2/3 majority vote from the Senate. So even that doesn't
Yeah.
really mean a whole lot. Yes, they can send army out to places, but they can't declare war. So,
Yeah.
there's not really a whole lot that affects you unless you're in the military, right? If you're in the military, then yes, you might be more interested in who the president is because, that might be where
Mhm.
your next job is going.
Yeah.
But if you're not, somebody like Kofa, then, for the most part, they're kind of secondary. It's really the Senate, and it's really your specific state legislature.
Yeah.
Your taxes, that's the state tax, especially if you're in a place that has income tax on the state level. That's something that you might want to be concerned about, or propositions, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, your perspective on that is very valid. I think honestly, your perspective might not be unique. I think there might be a lot of folks who kind of believe that way, or it's like,
Yeah.
a lot of business owners. When I talk to business owners, they have that kind of perspective where it's like, I'm gonna do me regardless of who's in that seat. If it's somebody,
And that's the position I want to get to.
Sorry.
I said that's the position I want to get to.
Yeah, honestly,
Like I just want my business to where that I don't care who's in the office or what. Like my business above what they got going on, and if it's not, I could go out the country. I could leave. So that's what I want to be in life.
And honestly, dude, I think for us, especially as the community of black men who are trying to rebuild whatever remnants of whatever this is, having that kind of mindset. Because I look at other communities. The Jewish community is not worried about who is in either seat. I mean, AIPAC
I never
gives
heard
money
about
to
the Jewish
both.
vote. I never heard about the Asian vote. I never heard about.
No.
Oh, we got to get the Asian vote. We got to get the Jewish vote. We got to get the Muslim vote. What?
They don't.
Yeah.
And they give money to both parties.
Yep.
Depending on who's suiting them best, either on the local level or the national level. And I honestly think that would serve us good. I think we would get more respect that way because then it's like, oh, okay, if we don't come correct, they have zero problems backing the other person. If that person's coming with a deal for them.
Yep.
Or as you said, you could always just leave the country and then be like, all right, well, y'all handle that.
Yeah, but you know what though? I think that's the best takeaway. That's the best takeaway is like, you know what? I guess we need to move the way that the respect that we want, the way other people get respect, we should move in that direction. So if we look at like, oh my God, why the Jews get so much? Oh my God, why the Asians get these hate crime bills? How come we don't move like them? It's a smaller percentage of people that's getting more things. Maybe we should move like that smaller percentage instead of crying about everything. That's what I think.
Is this a lack of knowledge problem?
I think it's a lack of organization. Because we okay with the symbolism. Obama's symbolism. Guess what? So is Trump. Symbolism. It's symbolism of, oh, we don't want this woman to, Kamala Harris is the auntie that, the rich auntie that went to HBCU that got a good job. And just because of that image alone, they will not vote for her. And so instead of the idealism of Obama being the first black man, now the idealism of let's not have this HBCU grad auntie, rich auntie, light skin, drive a Mercedes Benz, going to work every day with no
Literally
kids.
the whole stereotype of Boule.
Yes, right. And she's exactly that type. With a white husband, oh, she's exactly that
Literally
type.
the verbatim checklist
Yeah,
of all of it in one person.
I met Kamala Harris in my life, especially in Atlanta. I met so many of them.
Oh yeah, they're used to.
But yes, that's a type.
Ski
And
Wee.
that type, oh, they hate it. They hate that type. They hate the Ketanji Brown Jackson type. They hate that type. And it's like, you know what? I'm against that type. I need the idealism of somebody else.
Yeah, see, and this is why we got to talk to Mr. Broken Traditions himself. That honestly, that is the mic drop right there. I don't need to say anything else. Everything else was said, or as the young people say now, say less.
Oh, they don't say that no more.
They don't. Man, I can't keep up.
Nah. Yeah,
I can't keep up anymore. I shouldn't try to be hip anymore. I try to talk to my cousins, and they were speaking a foreign language. I'm like, okay, good talk.
Yeah, I mean, I talk to my son sometimes. I'd be like, yo, y'all still say this? He said, nah, we don't say that. We say this now. I'm like, all right. At least he don't like chastise me. Be like, oh my God, Dad, stop. He was like, nah, we don't say that. Just use this instead. I'm like, okay. So I be trying to say certain things on the live stream and stuff like that he tell me, but I can't keep up.
I don't remember the rate of vernacular changing when I was, in the young kid crowd.
Yeah,
y'all are changing like every 2 years. Like it's crazy, the speed.
That's with everything. I mean, news. We get news 24/7 on our phone. Before, back in the days when we were young, we had to wait till 6 o'clock, 10 o'clock, news over. That's it.
Yeah.
Or maybe in the morning. That's it. Now it's all day, every day. Pick your phone up. You can watch CNN, Fox News, MSNBC, whatever, all day on your phone or your computer at work. Listen to it on the radio. It's all day. So everything is always constantly in your face. So now you get numb to it and changes quicker.
Well, on that note, I would like to say if there is one notification you guys should keep up with, that is the notification of a new Broken Traditions podcast that happens on Fridays at 2 o'clock on Eastern time.
Yes. Can't wait. I'll listen to it again today at the gym. I'm like, oh yeah, this is gonna be a good one. It's gonna be a good one.
Oh yeah. So yes, out of all the notifications and news y'all get, at least make some time for that. Hey,
yes.
LeRon, thanks for joining us, man. As always, I appreciate our conversations. What you say?
Yeah, we gotta do this more often.
Oh yeah, for sure. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Please remember to like and subscribe. Also follow us on all of our podcasting platforms, and of course, not to forget to mention that you guys make this whole thing run, and so we appreciate everything that you do.
Thank you.